Investors with deep pockets are outbidding many people looking to buy a house right now. It's adding an increased burden on middle-class families trying to become homeowners. House prices have increased at a yearly pace of more than 13% and a monthly pace of 2% before seasonal adjustments. That's according to the latest S&P Home Price Index report. For more on this, I want to bring in Karan Kaul. He is a senior research associate at the Urban Institute's Housing Finance Policy Center. Thanks for being with us. First of all, are cash-rich investors really dominating the U.S. housing market more now than in the past? And why is it becoming increasingly harder for middle-class Americans to buy their first home?
Well, it's certainly true that investors have become more active in buying homes in recent years. But the bigger story by far is the fact that we just are not building enough new housing. That's creating a shortage relative to the demand we've seen in housing come up in the last few years, especially from millennials. So what you're left with is a housing market where you have a severe supply-demand imbalance with the demand far, far outpacing supply, and that's what's driving prices up for the most part.
So you're saying that that part of the problem is that builders simply aren't building entry-level homes fast enough. I'm surprised to hear that. I would have thought that if there's a great level of demand for it, then that builders would be replying by increasing the supply. Why isn't that happening?
Because it's very difficult for them to cover their costs of building smaller homes. In recent years, the cost of building a home has gone up for builders because of increases in the cost of land acquisition, cost of land development, labor shortages in the construction industry post-2006, as well as the rising cost of lumber and other materials that go into building a home. So when you build a smaller home, the smaller the home, the larger a percentage of the total value of home these costs are, and the more difficult it is for builders to make a profit by selling these homes. So you're seeing in the data very, very clearly that the construction of smaller homes has actually declined over time. And so at the same time, the demand for homes at the lower end of the market is also the strongest. So the pricing pressures, the affordability pressures we are seeing across the nation are actually way more acute in the lower price segment of the market than it is in the higher price segment of the market. And that's really, not good news for anyone looking to buy a home that is, let's say in the lower price tiers.
So what you're finding is that starter homes, or what's traditionally thought of as starter homes, that pool is really too small given the number of people who are trying to buy their first-time homes and the number of investors who are trying to buy these smaller homes and turn them into rental properties. So with everybody competing for this same small pool, approximately how much above the asking price are homes going for?
Well, there is no data that's available, that I've looked at recently at a national level. I'm sure, anecdotally, as we all know, houses are selling for well above their asking price across the nation. But again, the story is less about investors driving house prices. It's actually more about the fact that we have a deep shortage of homes, about 4 million, according to Freddie Mac study. That is, largely caused by underbuilding of homes in the last 10 years at a time when millennials are coming of age, they're getting married, they're starting households, they want to buy homes. And so you just have this huge shortage of supply relative to the demand for housing. And that's what's driving prices up.
Understood. All right. Well, Karan, an Urban Institute report released earlier this year also projects that the decline in home ownership will be particularly pronounced for Black households. Explain why this is for us.
Again, it goes to the fact that, the affordability crisis that we're in right now is more acute in that segment of the market that has these lower priced homes. And as we all know, Black households tend to be less wealthier compared to white households. They have lower incomes. And so, if there's an affordability crisis in that portion of the market, it's going to have a disproportionate impact on Black households. And that's really the big, issue we've been, working on over the years, is to figure out ways we can actually make a contribution in terms of increasing Black home ownership rates.
So given all of this, are there policies that need to be changed in order to help entry-level homeowners actually obtain home ownership?
Yeah, so one of the things that we got wrong after the 2008 housing bust is that we made it incredibly difficult for folks to qualify for mortgages. The system before 2008, mortgages were, lending standards were really lax. And, post 2008, we've seen the exact opposite. The pendulum has just swung too far in the other direction, where it's very difficult for folks, responsible borrowers who should be able to get a mortgage, to get one these days because of tight lending standards. And that has kept a lot of folks from being able to access home ownership. And the fact that now we have a supply crisis is not helping matters either. So we really need to, do both. We need to make sure we're building more new homes so that, so that we don't see house price appreciations in the range of 10, 12% a year. And at the same time, we need to make mortgage credit more widely available to responsible households so they can actually go out and bid on these houses.
All right. Karan Kaul, thank you so much for joining us.
Great to be here.